friends. Your favorite besties are back for another episode of No Ma'am. I'm your host, Willie Will, and this is my co-host.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am.
All right, friends, welcome to Passion, Poppers, and Poor Decisions, the segment where you send us your relationship dilemmas and we give you unsolicited advice like two besties with questionable love lives can do.
I mean, who better to give you relationship advice than two people who have been single for like a decade?
Yeah, two single bitches.
Yeah,
Like,
two very single bitches, bitch. Like
yes.
I don't do well in relationships. Like my independence, I like being able to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I don't like when people just constantly texting me and be like, "Where are you? Why are you not responding? I texted you like an hour ago." Blah blah blah. Bitch, I ain't got time for that. Nuh-uh.
I
I don't
know.
even respond to my parents, girl. Like, no.
No, I don't like it. And I get, okay, so I'm a Gemini. And so I guess because of my Gemini-is, like, nisms or whatever, I get bored really quickly. And so I just can't be, like, I can't do the same thing every day. And I feel like if I'm in a relationship, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing the same thing every day.
Listen, I am a Cancer, so I know most people probably think like, oh, he falls in love in like 2.5 seconds. No, bitch. I fall out of love in 2.5 seconds. As soon as I see an egg, I'm like, ew, shocked. If you eat with your mouth open, I'm like, ew. If I don't know, like literally these smallest things, I'm like, ew, I don't want to see you ever again.
Oh
Ever
my
again.
gosh. I
I
can't
am
wait till we get into these scenarios because I can't wait to see your
listen,
responses.
I will drop someone so fast just because they did something small that I didn't like. I don't know. I'm very like that. Probably the only Cancer in the world that's like that.
Oh God. I don't know. I'm not that bad. I'm bad,
Yeah.
but I'm not that bad. I just will just like I will ghost you. I guess that's even worse.
I
I
mean, same.
guess.
I'll be like, oh, no, no,
I will ghost you. I
blocked.
will ghost you. I just won't touch you. Yeah, I will ghost you. But all right, let's get into these scenarios. All right. So the first scenario, or the first relationship dilemma, is my boyfriend gives me the silent treatment every time we argue, then acts like nothing happened. Am I overreacting?
Oh, pump him. First of all,
No,
right, right.
no.
We're actually supposed to
You can't
try to
just say
make it
no,
work.
like dump it. No, we're not trying. We're not supposed to make anything work. You can be, it's just your honest as advice.
Dump him. The fuck? Who you out here dating babies? Like, no. First of all, in relationships, not me coming out with relationship advice. I feel like you should be able to communicate, right? Whatever emotions, whatever feelings you have, you need to be able to communicate them effectively so that you can move past them together. You know,
Come
hey, I
on,
didn't.
communicate effectively. Come on now.
Ooh, maybe I should be a therapist, girl. Maybe I'm in the wrong field. No, I can't be because the way I would roll my eyes at the stupidest thing people would tell me, like, I'm scared of popsicles. I'd be like, the fuck. Anyway, what was I saying? See, I can't be a therapist actually.
You want them to be able to communicate effectively.
Communicate effectively, and if you can't do that, what's the point? Like, you need to be able to help each other through situations, whatever you're feeling. If you're upset with them about something, let them know what it is so that they're aware about it, and then they can go ahead and work on it. And if it's things that are non-negotiables, like if it's something that is really that big, then maybe you shouldn't be together. And like if you can't communicate effectively, you can't get over your issues together, right? You shouldn't be together.
I mean, I took it a different way. I just looked at it, maybe the boyfriend is a processor because I know some things I need to process, right? Like there's some times in which I'm quick with it and I have a rebuttal, but there's other times in which I may just need to process. So maybe the boyfriend giving like the boyfriend the silent treatment is his way of processing it. So I don't think that it may also just be that the boyfriend just thinks this is like a non motherfucking factor, right? Like it's not even a big deal. So therefore, there's no need for us to keep harping on this. You said what you said. I heard it, and that's it. That's not a bad
Okay.
thing.
So two things. One, if it's a non-factor and you just want to move on, like why do you need to give them the silent treatment? Just be like, okay, it's over, that's it. Like, let's move on from this topic. Let's move on to something else. Why need to give
Oh,
them the
I
silent
took the
treatment?
silent treatment like not responding, not like not saying anything at all.
That's silent treatment is like, girl, you're just not speaking. Like, no matter what it is, like you're trying to tell them something and they're just like ignoring you.
Oh, I kind of took a different approach to the silent treatment. It was like, you
Are you
just
saying
don't.
like they weren't like rebutting?
Yes, that's how I looked at the
Oh,
silent treatment.
no, I see the silent treatment as like whatever an argument happened and then they're just not speaking to you. And then again, if you need time to process it, that's fine. That's totally fine. Just be like, hey, just give me, I need some space. give me a few minutes, then come back and be like, all right, this is how I feel. Like, again, you need to be able to communicate what you process, not just like bottle it up and pretend it never happened.
Come on, communicate effectively. Come on now. Come on now. You better come with the
I should,
competencies. You
I
better
should,
come on
I should start charging people.
with the
We should
job
make this,
success profile.
we
You
should
should come
make this
on
a
with the job
Patreon.
success. Listen, it could be a Patreon exclusive. You never know. All
Or
right.
we could
So,
join Corey on
friends.
cameos.
Oh my God, we could, right? This is Corey Toot. So, friends. Which is the boyfriend overreacting? Do you think that this is a reach? Or should the boyfriend like say something? They're grown. They should be able to say something. What do you think? Comment below. I would love to hear your responses or to hear your responses. I mean to read your responses because I wouldn't be able to hear it, but you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying. All right. So the next scenario is my girlfriend says she's just being brutally honest, but her comments about my appearance sometimes sting. How do I go about setting boundaries?
I think it goes, so one, I think goes back to that whole communicating effectively thing. But two, as somebody who can be brutally honest and be hurtful unintentionally, I kind of understand that. Like, I know sometimes I'll say things to people and I don't realize that I'm being like hurtful until after I'm like, ooh, I could have said it in a better way. Like, it won't be intentional of me being like rude or nasty. Like, I'll just say something. Like, if you ask me, like, I don't know what you think of my hair, and I'll be like, it's dry as hell or something. Again, not necessarily me wanting to be mean or malicious. You ask me something, I'm gonna tell you what I feel. But then after, I'll be like, maybe I could have said that a little bit better. So, like, again, maybe that person just needs to be told, like, hey, it's fine that you feel that way. You're absolutely entitled to your feelings or whatever. But you are also responsible for your reaction and your emotions. Like, you need to be able to communicate what you want to say in a way that doesn't necessarily hurt other people.
I think she should leave her because there is no way that y'all together in a relationship and she talking about how like you look bad. Like
Well, no,
and
you
she's
should
commenting
absolutely.
about like and she's commenting about her appearance. I don't think that's okay. I think that's kind of fucked up.
Well, if you're dating someone and you, I don't know, you're wearing a busted outfit, don't you want them to tell you? If
No.
I'm dating someone and my eyeliner is all the way top to fucked up, I would want them to tell me, like, girl, your eyeliner
Why?
fucked up. Fix it.
Why?
Fix it. Why you letting me walk out there like that?
Because that's you and that's what you want to do. I'm gonna support you regardless.
No, no. If
But what
like,
if I say, oh, like, what if we were together and I'm like, you better fix that, like that cut crease looks a fucking mess.
fine then, I'll fix it, girl. That's it. Like, thank you for letting me know. I'll fix it.
I don't know.
Again,
I think that's harsh.
I mean, again, it comes down to how you say it. It comes
Mm,
down to how you communicate it. Like, there's a way between be like, "Oh, girl, you look busted," and hey, honey, maybe maybe we should redo your whatever a little bit.
no, I feel like that's being passive aggressive and that's rude. Hey,
I don't
honey,
know.
maybe we need to fix your
Okay,
cut crease.
maybe not that kind of passive aggressively, but there's ways to communicate, and everybody's different. Some people might like that the bluntness. Some people might like that other more passive aggressive route, or there might be other ways to communicate it. You guys have to talk it out. You know what's the effective way for you guys to communicate with each other?
Bitch, if you say communicate effectively one more fucking time.
I didn't say effectively, bitch.
Like,
Oh,
what? Like communicate.
listen,
You just have to be able to communicate effectively.
I did
Like,
not say
yes,
effectively that
we
last
get
time, you
it.
whore.
We get it. We get
No,
it.
but
You have to
yeah,
communicate.
yes, but again, everybody is different, and the way they receive critiques is different. Some people might take
Okay.
it. Some people might take the bluntness like fine, and obviously others won't. So you guys kind of need to figure out, or they need to figure out what works for them. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think that's good advice. I just think that there's a fine line between being really honest, right? And then critiquing the other person's like appearance because at the end of the day, you are in a relationship with them. And so you are attracted to them in some kind of way. And I just think that there's a way to go about that without being malicious.
But that's what I
And
was
I think
getting
it,
at. Like, you should be able to tell them, like, hey, your haircut wasn't nice.
but I also think it's a balance between them receiving the person who you're giving the criticism to, receiving it in a negative, like,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you also need to know the person you're communicating, like telling that to. I'm trying to avoid the word now. You need to know who you're saying it to. Like if you know that person's gonna get upset because you told them you don't like the outfit, maybe find a different way of telling them. Um, don't just be like, that those shorts make your ass look flat or whatever.
Mm, I mean, we love a fat ass.
I said flat, not fat.
Not bad. Anyways, okay, so the next one is, how about this one? This one I think may be a little complicated, or maybe a little easy, depending on if this is your personality or not. But I want sex daily. My partner's good for once a week. Are we
Once a
doomed,
week.
or is there a middle ground?
If you can't fuck 3 times a night, peace.
First of
No.
all, Giovanni, when you get older,
No, I know.
okay?
First of all, I was just quoting Nicki Minaj.
Oh, I know. But when you get older, no, it's gets harder and harder to do that.
But yeah, that's where you take Viagra.
I'm not talking about like getting it up. Like no. I'm just saying like it's just you don't have like the need to do it all the time.
True. I mean, I think they just need to have an open conversation about like their needs.
Is this where we say we need to have an open relationship? Is that an
I
option?
mean, uh, I mean, that one's a little more difficult. I mean, yes, they can, obviously, and as we know, with a lot of queer people, an open relationship is a lot more common than in like heterosexual relationships.
I don't believe in it.
I know you don't.
I don't believe in it at all.
I don't know if
I'm
I'd ever be
sorry.
able to be in one necessarily, but it's fine. Like, I'm not judging, girl. Go get your pickle tickled wherever you need to be. I don't know.
No, I think that's very selfish. I don't know. For some reason,
No, I mean, again,
I think it's very selfish.
if you're honest with each other and you're having that conversation of being like, hey, this is what I need, um, and this is kind of what I need to do to get that, and the other person's okay with it, and they're like, yeah, sure, totally, go ahead, like you do you, boo. Then I think it's fine. I don't
So
think it's
what's the
selfish.
point of being together if you want to have an open relationship? Why you just don't be friends with benefits?
That is a whole nother question,
Like
bitch.
I'm trying to
Yeah, no, but like
to
you could still build
I
a
can't
life.
fathom.
Yeah, because I feel like there's no emotion. You are the queen of emotional sex, bitch.
Mm.
So, like, I feel like that's what it is. It's just like I just need to like fuck. That's it. Like, I don't want any emotion. Like, I don't need to, know your life story or build a connection with you or anything like that. Like, I'm just trying to get something that my partner cannot give me at this moment, but I still want to be with that person because we connect emotionally in a different level.
So I guess this brings up a bigger ish like question is sex important in a relationship?
Yeah.
Like should this be discussed before getting into a relationship? Should it be like, hey, these are my wants, these are my needs, this is what I am expecting? Is that a conversation that needs to be had before they're saying that they want to be together?
Yes, I think so. Which I know, I feel like, yeah. I mean, I know us as queer people, like, when we go into relationships, like, we probably had sex multiple times before that relationship, like, really forms.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yes, that should have been figured out already. Like, we should know what each other wants before it becomes, like, an actual thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Wouldn't that be like an awkward conversation to have though? Like, just,
No,
oh,
I
hey,
mean, it
listen,
shouldn't
just so you
be.
know, like, I have a high sex drive, so I need sex all the time.
It shouldn't be, though. Because if it is an awkward conversation, then maybe you shouldn't be together. If you are having difficulty telling your partner, like, hey, I need you to, like, stick it in me at least 3 times a week, then if you're uncomfortable telling them that, then maybe you shouldn't be together. You should be able to communicate about anything you need to. Sorry, I just now used that word again, but it makes sense. Listen, it gets the point across. Like if you can't tell them that, then reconsider your relationship.
I guess they need to adapt to situations, I guess.
And it's like kind of expanding on that, and it also comes to like any like specific sexual acts that they might want to do. Like if they're like, hey, I want to like, you should be able to go to your partner and be like, hey, I've kind of been thinking about doing this. How do you feel about that? Like, is that something we can explore together? Is that something that's like a no-go for you? Like,
Yeah.
they should be able to have those open conversations without it necessarily. Like, yes, it's going to be awkward maybe, but you should be comfortable to have those awkward conversations.
Okay. Well, I guess that will lead me to my next scenario, which is I'm affectionate, they're private. How do we compromise without the other one feeling deprived?
That was really difficult, I think, because I don't know. Personally,
Is
I
this
don't.
also is this also a situation just like the sex conversation that needs to be had before getting into the relationship?
I feel like you should know who the fuck you get into a relationship with. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I feel like I'd be able to tell right away, like, if this is the type of person that I would not be able to be like emotional with, or like, I don't know, like, just if we're out on the street, like, I know, like, hey, we're gonna be like 2 feet away from each other, we're not gonna be holding hands, or whatever the case is. Like, I feel like that should be known before you enter the relationship.
Hmm. It should, but what happens if it doesn't?
Well,
Then what happens?
then
Like then what comes? Do we dump them?
this is why boyfriends be having a new boy. This is why guys be having a new boyfriend like every other week.
So what do you think stops like obviously these are all like queer scenarios, right? Because I think more often this happens in like the queer community than it does in the heterosexual community. I think the heterosexual
Unfortunately.
community just fully just they understand that these are questions that they need to ask. Like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to have that? I think some queer relationships have that because like depending on the person, right? And depending on the context, yes, I'm not saying all of them. So don't jump in the DMs talking about I have no idea what I'm talking about before you try to cancel me. I'm going to preface this when I say some, okay? But like I was saying before y'all try to shade me, is we're very visual people. So if we are attracted to the other person, right? I wouldn't say vain because I don't think well, not all of us are vain. I think some of us are just visual animals, right? And we like what we like. And so that attraction supersedes everything else. And so we can bypass oh, you may be a little private and I may be a little bit more affectionate, but in the bedroom, we're like compatible. So, like, that's what we want. And we love that. But when we go outside, I want to hold hands and you don't.
Again. So then I think, yeah. So you should, I feel like you should be entering a relationship with somebody who's gonna get you on, or who's gonna be able to meet your needs on different levels. Like again, like if you need somebody who's gonna be able to hold your hand in public, or the opposite, who like is not gonna be affectionate or on public, or who fulfills several sexual needs of yours, like I feel like you should know that before you really enter that relationship. Like it shouldn't be a surprise for you when like 6 months down the line you like, I don't know, have a conversation about having kids and you find out like, oh no, like they never want to have kids ever and you really do. Like I feel like, I don't know. Maybe because
Like,
I'm at
wouldn't that be a red flag though? Like, would you think like, hey, you're on a first date, right? You're talking, you're chopping it up, you like it, everything is going good, and then you just say, oh, hey, listen, like I really want to have kids, and I'm looking for like someone to settle down with. Is that a red flag?
it can be scary. I don't think it's necessarily a red flag. Like I know
You have
that's
to say
scary.
that
Like I know if somebody, like if I'm on a first date with them, this is so conflicted because I know I've also had dates when like I see them do something and right there instantly then and there I'm like, ooh, this is the only date we're having, girl. Like it's not moving further than this.
because wouldn't
Oops.
that be one is more affection and the other one is more private? If
Yeah.
one is like coming to you and saying, "Hey, listen, here's my goals. Here's what I want. I really want to have kids. Like, I want to have a dog. I want to have a house with like the white picket fence, or maybe it's a condo in Miami on South Beach with my little like miniature like cavapoo named Lucy."
Not you mentioning like five people that I know. And you
Like,
not mentioning,
would
but
that be
like
a red
describing,
flag?
yeah.
Like, would
Well,
that be a red flag?
I think it can be for some people, yes, that will be a red flag. Like if on the first date, somebody's like, "I want kids, blah blah blah. I want to be married within 5 years, whatever." I can see why that's scary for some people, and why for a lot of people that would be a red flag. I don't think it necessarily should be. Like you like I feel like you should be able to have that conversation with somebody, and then be like, "Okay, well, I'm not there yet. Can I see that being something for me?" Maybe. And like, we can like it's not an absolute no, and like we can find out together whether that's the future we can have. But then at the same time, if somebody's letting you know that like right then and there and you're absolutely never want kids and that, then that's at that point, like you can be like, all right, well, we're not compatible. We're looking for very different things, and before we get entangled seriously, like we should just end it
Hmm.
now. But
Okay.
I don't think you need to commit to them 100% right then and there. It could be like, all right, well, that's the future I can possibly see for myself, but we need to discover that together.
Okay. And do you think if so for this scenario, right? One is
Well, the scenario
affectionate,
was bitch. Oh,
yes,
yeah.
one is affectionate, the other one is private. Do you think if either one of them stays in the situation, are they settling?
I don't know.
Friends, what do you think? If this is you, right, and you were with your significant other or your partner, and you were the affectionate one in the relationship, or you were the private one in the relationship, and you've come to an impasse, and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, are you settling if you stay?
I think so, actually. Now that you put it that way, yes. Because if you can't figure out a way to effectively give each other what each other kind of wants, then what's the point of being in that relationship? Like if on the fundamental level, you cannot give that person what they need or what they desire, what they want in a relationship, why are you with them?
I mean, that's true. But are you in a relationship with someone to get something from them?
I mean, it could be, and then you need to figure out what that something is and maybe go look for it somewhere else.
I mean, friends, comment below. Let us know. And our last scenario is I'm out and proud. He's not out to his family.
Well,
I'm feeling hidden. What do we do?
I think that is a very, I mean, I think almost anyone can kind of anyone in a queer relationship can kind of identify with that one in some way or another. We've all been in the closet and out of the closet, obviously, or not all. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that aren't out of the closet. I think that one's very difficult because I feel like as queer people, we should be understanding of like, hey, not everybody's family is accepting, and not everybody can come out to their family and have their full support. And they'll know that. Like, you don't necessarily, not everyone needs to come out to their family to know that they won't be supported by the family. Like, for some people, it's obvious that if they come out, they're going to be kicked out, they're going to be disowned, yada, yada, yada. So I think there should be a level of understanding when it comes from your partner, like if you can't be that open with your family. Like if I'm with somebody who's very closeted and very like hidden, that wouldn't necessarily be a huge deal breaker for me because I know it can be very difficult for some people to come out or to
Okay.
be openly queer.
And and I get that. I'm the opposite, right? And I say this with obviously the most open-mindedness that I can possibly be, but I'm too old to go back in the closet.
I feel
Like I'm that way. And then the reason why and how why I say this is because one, it's not fair to me to go back in the closet to be considerate because your family is not accepting. Granted, I fully understand that not all families are accepting of, their queer child. Like I get that. But it's also not fair to that person that I'm with to be open when they're not in the space to be their authentic self when they're at home. You get what I'm saying? Right? Like, so I don't think it's fair to either party. And I've seen this happen on so many times. I've seen this happen so many levels where one is like out, right? And the other one may be on the down low. And I hate using the down low because that's a whole conversation for a different day. I've seen it in which they are trying to make something happen and it does not quite work because the partner is not ready to have that difficult conversation with their family because they know that their family is not going to accept.
yeah, so I see what you're saying. The way I'm kind of seeing it is like if your family isn't accepting, that's fine, that's totally fine. We can cross the bridge eventually when it comes. But I won't be forcing you because I wouldn't necessarily see myself interacting with them in that case. Like if you really are maybe that hidden or whatever, like I'm not gonna go back into the closet. I've always been very unapologetically queer, very myself. I'm gonna still continue to be myself. We will just do that away from those people, if that makes sense. Like I'm just not gonna be
True.
anywhere near them because I know
Right.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. Um,
Yeah. But I also
but then
feel like it is not fair to the person that you're with to not be yourself when you're in a situation where it's like with their family, right? Like
but
so
again, then
nobody could be themselves then.
yes, okay. See, the way I'm saying it is we just wouldn't interact with that family. So I guess
Yeah,
yes, that's also bad
but you
for
can't get
them.
like you can't also
But
force them
it's
to not interact with their family because
well,
at the
no,
end
they
of the day,
can
that's still
go.
their
They can
family.
go. They can go. But if they don't know we're in a relationship or we can't be like that, then maybe I just won't go with you.
But do you be in a relationship? That's my thing. Like,
I think that's
is
fine.
that where you compromise that you can't, but you can't, like, what I don't like, I get that. I just, for me, I find it really difficult to be with someone where I can't share that side of me, like you, together. You can share it on my side. You can come over to my house. You can meet my family, right? You can do that. But I can't be that for you on your side.
Yeah,
If
I
you
don't
still
know.
have a relationship with your parents. Like if you don't have a relationship with your side of the family, oh, cool. Like you're not missing anything, right? But if you have that relationship still, and now it's like you have to live double lives, I don't want to put you in a situation where you feel like you have to choose. Do you choose me or do you choose your family? And I would hate to be in the middle in which my like significant other thinks that they have to choose either me or their family. Because at the end of the day, I would just remove myself.
I get that because I just feel like queer people have a very, very complicated relationships with families.
Right.
And it's not easy to understand, especially if like you're not queer or you haven't been in that scenario. Like you won't understand it no matter how hard you try. I think I don't know, it's very difficult. It's very complex. Like I don't
Yes.
think it's okay to necessarily isolate people who can't come out of the closet because they do still need support. Whether or not they're in the closet, they need support. So we can't necessarily I would feel terrible being like, well, it's either me, the kind of your partner or that person who's kind of maybe helping you discover your core identity, or
Mhm.
this part of the family that's actually stripping that all away from you. Like I just feel like I don't know, I can't wrap myself around necessarily doing that to someone either.
Yes, but I don't think people do that, right? I don't think they do it intentionally. I
No,
think what happens
I
is
know it's not
down the
intentional.
line, it comes to a point where it's a fork in the road, right? Like it comes to where it has to be either eventually you're going to have to choose your family or you're going to have to choose the person that you want to be with.
Okay, and I think again that kind of comes down to like I feel like this should have been a thing from the beginning of the relationship. Like, hey, like, if this does work out, like years from now, like, is I don't know, is marriage a thing that we can foresee? Would that even be possible? Or like, hey, would you ever anticipate actually coming out? Again, not necessarily that I would necessarily need them to do that, but I would want to know what I'm getting myself into down the line. Like, hey,
So
what?
what you're trying to say is that y'all need to communicate effectively. That's what you're
But was
trying
it
to say.
fashion? But was it fashion? Yes, basically. Like, hey, what? Like, yeah, pretty much.
All right. All right, friends, if you enjoyed our discussion on relationship advice, if you enjoyed our segment called Passion, Poppers, and Poor Decisions, then let us know. If you enjoyed the shade, if you enjoyed the laughs, if we had you say no, ma'am, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode of No Ma'am. And if you are following us on Instagram, follow us. If you're not following us on Instagram, is what I meant to say. Follow us at No Ma'am the podcast. And if you're listening to us on Apple, Spotify, or Heart Radio, make sure you like and rate us 5 stars. And as always, we'll have you saying no ma'am in no time. Bye.